All right. So let's get started tonight. So tonight we've got Lebo Valencia. One thing I think you're going to see is that Lebo is a passionate educator. He believes that understanding math can help all kids develop critical thinking and problem solving skills that they can utilize outside the classroom. He's committed to helping spread the joy of mathematics through math play. And he believes that facilitating math play helps students develop a deeper appreciation for that field of mathematics, and it helps them to better understand it. He's taught a wide variety of subjects from remedial algebra classes to upper level calculus. And so, with that, I will turn it over to Lebo and let you have some fun.
All right, Mark, thank you so much for that intro. I got to tell you that I absolutely love the code Math Play. I hope that everyone gets that code all over the world. Thank you, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have over 100 people from all over the place. People in India, 4:30 a.m. I don't know if you're getting coffee right now. And people from all over the place. So welcome to Facilitating Math Play with Virtual Manipulatives. I will be your host, but on the background, we got Mark and Ryan. If you have any questions, please throw them on the chat. Make sure you hit everyone so we can all see your questions, because we can all benefit from your questions. And then Mark and Ryan will be helping us. All right. So as we start, as a classroom teacher, as an educator, first thing that I want to do today is thank you. I feel that it takes a teacher, right? It takes an educator to know the struggle. So this is what the world sees teachers doing, but this is what they're actually doing. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us today. Our goal is to we value your time. So our goal is to give you some resources, give you some ideas that you can bring back to your students tomorrow. I'm currently on break, so maybe you're on break too, which speaks volumes, right? That the fact that you're here today. So thank you, everyone, for being here today. We really appreciate your time, and we want to give you some tools, some actual tools that you can bring back to your classroom, to your students. All right. So our agenda for tonight. So I want to briefly give you an introduction about the whole idea of math play, like what is that all about? It sounds really good, I know. The power of manipulatives, and also then we'll go into an exploration of digital manipulatives and a lot of the things that Brainingcamp has to offer that I've been using with my daughters. All right, so let's get started. I hope that everyone's ready. Let's go. So my name is Lebo Valencia. I am a mathematics educator in New York. I've been teaching for about 16 years. My official experience has been both high school and college. Officially. Unofficially, I have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old that I teach at home. So I see everything from like kindergarten to calc at the college level. So there's a wide range of things that I'm teaching all the time. You could find more about my work at lebovalencia.com. I try to be pretty active on social media. X, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we have it. And the username is the same, is at Mr. Valencia 24. So in addition to teaching and being a dad and being a full-time husband, I am also the author of Math Play, and I want to tell you a little bit of how Math Play came about. So my teaching experience has been, as I mentioned, at the secondary level and the college level. But the whole idea of math play really started with my daughters. I have two daughters at home, Mariana, my 10-year-old, and Madeline, my 5-year-old. I got to tell you that as a parent, my older daughter made it seem so easy. Like, you got tricked right into having a second child because you're like, oh my God, this is so easy. Then you have the second, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is this? So when I had my older daughter, I started, as a math teacher, as a math educator. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to teach her like everything that I know. So we started in our basement, also known as Math Play headquarters. We started doing all kinds of like games and activities for her to explore, like numbers and counting and quantities. And for example, I'm a big fan of Dan Finkel's like teeny polka dot cards. So I will give her a card and say, Mariana, let's count to 7, and then we use dominoes and dice and things for her to like find a way to get to 7 or count to 7. And then once she did that, I was like, okay, Mariana, let's try another one. So this started very early, and like I noticed that she was engaged, she was enjoying it, and it was something that we both like. We also play with different shapes. If you teach little ones, I really hope that you're using like different shapes and pattern blocks and whatnot. On the right side of the screen, you can see a game that we call like 2D to 3D. So we started building shapes in 2 dimensions and then try to translate it into 3 dimensions. Now, these are like beautiful pictures of some of the things that actually worked out, but I have to tell you that there were a lot of things that didn't work out that like Mariana was, oh no, like dad, like Tata, is this gonna work? And I pretended that I didn't know. I'm like, oh, I don't know, let's find out. And I feel like through those games, it like developed perseverance in my daughter and like a love and a joy for mathematics. Now, this went on. One of the things that we love doing with Mariana and now with Madeline is like exploring patterns, right? Like patterns are so beautiful, like they're so engaging. I want you to take a look at this pattern right now and on the chat, drop like what do you notice? What do you wonder? I'll give you a chance to look at the pattern and look at the numbers. We got a lot going on here. We got some shapes, we got some numbers. We got 1, 2, 2, 3, 6. What is happening here? So what do you notice? What do you wonder? Hit us on the chat. What do you notice in here? Margie, yes, they are all hexagons. Hexagons are like the best shape ever. Yep. We got one notice. We're all dealing with hexagons. Mark, notice that the hexagon is growing. Oh, very nice. Susie, the numbers match how many of each shape? Oh my God, Susie, look at you. We got the number. Let's see. I want to go back to that. Numbers match how many of each shape? All right, so Susie, let's see. So for number 1, we have one hexagon. For number 2, we still have one hexagon, but now it's made out of like 2 different triangles and 2 parallelograms. Wait, I have a wondering here. Wondering why the second and third are 2s. Oh, great wonder. There is a red distraction. Hexagon patterns. So notice how as you're looking at this pattern, your brain is immediately trying to make sense. Why do we go from 1, 2, and then we have another 2? And then I think Susie like noticed it like very early, right? She noticed that like we have for number 1, we have a hexagon made out of like one piece, right? And then for number 2, we have 2 triangles, 2 parallelograms, and then the next one is still 2 because we have 2 triangles, 2 hexagons, 2 trapezoids. So, Susie, you were right. It's like 2 of each, right? And then for number 3, we have a hexagons made out of 3. Adrian, yes. Susie's generalization made me start thinking about tables and equations. This is like just a quick example of the beauty and richness of mathematics. Notice how like play, right? Like play and like exploring is like comes natural, right? Because we immediately started seeing things. I noticed as people were coming in that we got everything, right? Like people teaching like kindergarten, 6th grade, 7th grade. So even though like we might be at different levels in our teaching career, like we're immediately we see this pattern and our brain is trying to make sense out of it. Yes, very nice. All right, so beautiful, nice. I love this example. So we started like playing with different shapes. Oh, let me close the chat. Different shapes and patterns, and I noticed that my daughter was like very engaged to the point where I was like, oh my God, we have to keep using like this manipulatives at home because like every time we did that, it like brought mathematics to life. So here are some other cool examples. So at the high school, I was using what you call the anchor charts, and my daughter happened to like see me like doing something like this. She was, oh, Dad, Tata, what is that? And I said, oh, this is an anchor chart. You use it to like kind of like summarize the idea of something that you're learning. And she said, oh, can we make one? I said, of course. And of course, you can imagine we started with the hexagon because who doesn't love hexagons? So we put a hexagon in the middle, and then she created like a 3D hexagon. She like put all the dominoes that added up to 6. We got the dice and whatnot. She said, oh, this is 6 sides, 6 corners. And we were having fun. And then afterwards, I said, okay, Mariana, now I want you to make one for the rectangle. She was like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So she put the little rectangle in the middle. She put the dominoes on the bottom, 3D on the right side. She put a little description on top, 4 sides, 4 corners. And then on the left side of the rectangle, she just like stopped and said, like, Tata, what do you want me to put in here? And I said, you know what, Mariana? You decide what you want to put in there. And then I see her like thinking and wondering, and then I see her like writing down. And I'm like, oh my God, what is she writing down? Because I didn't tell her. So then when she was like showing me, and she like wrote down, these are like the rectangle's best friends. And I thought that that was such a cool connection, because this was back in like probably kindergarten or before. And I said, Mariana, why are those like the rectangle's best friends? And then she kind of like rolled her eyes a little bit. Remember, she's the good one. And she was like, oh, dad, because they all have four sides. So I thought it was like really cool that she was like making these connections, and like it was all natural in the context of play. Here's a more recent example. This was third grade multiplication. She's learning about the distributed property. She comes home. She's all excited, telling me about the distributed property. She was telling me about like the Mickey Mouse like method. I was like, oh my God, what is the Mickey Mouse method? So it was like a circle, and then there were like two circles on top for the earrings. So she said, like, if you're multiplying by like 13, you're going to break down 13 into like 10 and 3. So you multiply by 10 and you multiply by 3. And I was like, oh, that's cool, Mariana. So like we were playing and exploring the multiplication and the distributed property. And then I said, Mariana, you think we could do like the distributed property without using numbers? And then she was like, oh, how do we do that? And then we started playing. And we're big fans of like Star Wars. If you haven't watched Star Wars, I'm just going to tell you, you're missing out. You should check it out immediately. But this was a quick example in the context of third grade. So I think she was like 8 or 9. And then we were just playing, like, distribute the little lightsaber to the Jedis. I think it was Obi-Wan and Anakin. And then distribute the little laser beam to like the stormtroopers. So what I noticed with my daughter is that anytime we're using manipulators and doing math play, it like the math comes to life, and it's something that she really, really enjoys. Now, here's another example, another connection. So I mentioned I teach secondary. One day I was doing something with functions, and then Mariana was behind me. She's like, Dad, what's a function? And she emphasized the word fun within functions. So then I'm like trying to do my lesson plan. I was like, oh my goodness, what do I do? And I went, well, Mariana, a function is like a fun rule. She was like, what do you mean? So I had to stop. Long story short, I stopped my lesson planning. I was like, let's head down to the basement. I got my whiteboards and whatnot, and we started making functions out of different shapes. Because a lot of times, like, we think about like this concept, oh, they're supposed to learn this at this level. But I feel that because of the richness and the beauty of mathematics, students are able to make connections all along, right? And it's better because this was like my daughter. I think she was in second grade when we did this math play activity of exploring functions in the context of second grade. So we started. I remember we started with the square. So okay, Maria, so we're gonna make a function of a square. So we're gonna use a tiny square to make like a bigger square. And then she did the triangle. We tried the hexagon. Turns out you cannot make a hexagon out of hexagons. And then we did the trapezoid. So it's fun. It's engaging. She's having fun. We're learning. And a lot of times we're making connections beyond her grade level, which is amazing. All right. So in addition, so this like richness of mathematics and this engagement that I've seen using like physical manipulators can easily be transferred to the digital world. Now, our students, like our learners, are very comfortable with technology, regardless of like how you feel about that. Your students are very comfortable with technology, and like that is the world that they live in. So now I want to bring you into like the world of like virtual manipulators, and we're gonna use Brainingcamp. So there's like two things, like two of like the things that I want to do are, one, bring you show you like some of the manipulators that we already have in Brainingcamp that you can use, and also some of the pre-made tasks, which is like absolutely amazing. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so now we're going to explore. So get ready. All right, so I'm going to go at this point. I'm going to pause my presentation so I can go because I want to show you this live. So at this point, I'm hopeful that everyone was able to redeem the code. Everyone has the code. Everyone is in. If anybody needs the code, please let us know. We can put it in the chat. I know Ryan put it on the chat. Ryan, thank you so much. Look at you. You're ready. I'm looking for the code and you put it right there. Thank you so much, Ryan. So, Maria, don't worry. Ryan is going to take care of you. So go to Brainingcamp and then enter the code MathPlay. There you go. We're a team here. All right, so let me get back to it. So once you log in into your Brainingcamp account using the MathPlay code, it's going to bring you here. So you have all these different options. There is so much in here. We could run like 10 webinars on this. So there is like algebra ties, there's the clock, there is fractions, pattern blocks, like anything that you're potentially teaching or could be teaching, like you could use, there's something in here that you can use. So for the purpose of the webinar, and just to give you a sense, I want to bring your attention to the geoboard. So we're going to click on the geoboard. So you're going to click on the geoboard and it's going to bring you here. All right, so before we even start playing, so you've seen the geoboard, hopefully. I want to bring a couple of things to your attention because there's a lot in here. So I want to turn your attention to the bottom right where it says workspace. If you click on that workspace, it's going to give you some options within this manipulatives. So right now I'm in the square section, but I could go to isometric. I can even make it a circle. So within each one of them, you're going to have different options. Now, I also on the bottom, notice how you have like a different grid. Let's say that you have younger students, maybe like a 5 will be more appropriate for them. So you have different options in here. You can add grid lines, which might be useful for some of our learners, and there's different things. So that's one thing that I want to bring to your attention. Like once you enter the resource, there are different options in there that can like help you adjust it, right? Or tailor it to your students' needs. Now, on the left side, we got objects, so these are your rubber bands. We got also different kinds of shapes and different kinds of tools. All right, so I want to start playing with this, and then we're gonna make like a live demonstration. So within the shapes, let's bring some text. So what we're gonna do right now, because I know you love that picture about the 2D and the 3D. So let's create a 3D shape. That's what we're about to do. All right. So usually in my experience, this is not something that a lot of teachers are doing with a geoboard, but I want to show you that it's fun. I've done it with my daughter. It's fun. And then we'll share it. So I'm going to grab one of these. They're like very intuitive, easy to use. So I'm going to go up to like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to lose the grid lines. But you can keep them if you want to. I'm going to do 4 in here. I'm going to do 4 in here. So very user-friendly. Then I'm going to get another one, put it here, extend it, and then go down here. I'm going to make it like a 4x4. And then I'm going to, so like this is how you will create a 3D shape on paper. So now we're doing it in here. So check this out. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to connect these 2 corners. And then I'm going to do the same thing in here. Connect those 2 corners. And I got one more. Put it here. And here is my 3D shape. Here is my 3D shape. Oh, what is happening now? Let me go back in here. There you go. Very user-friendly. There you go. Boom. We got a 3D shape. So I know that you're probably exploring this, but now I want to show you some of the things that you could do with your classes live. So on the upper right side, you see that there is like a feedback form, a live, and share. So right now, we're going to turn this activity into like a mini lesson, right? This could be an activation, an exploration that you do with your students. So I'm going to hit live. It's going to ask me to start a live lesson, and I'm going to start a live lesson. It's going to say live session is ready, and then I'm going to click on go. So now here is the code, right, for this live lesson. So right now, we just created a code. So from your end, I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to throw it in the chat. So we have, look at Mark, you're so fast. All right, so here we go. We got the code in there. So from your end, right, you're probably looking at this screen. So where it says share code, you're going to copy, you're going to paste that code, and then you're going to click on go. So it's going to ask you to join live lesson. I'm going to join live lesson. Now, let's say that it's joining right now. So let's say that now I'm joining. Let's say that you like Star Wars and your favorite character is like Anakin Skywalker. I could do like A and S for Anakin Skywalker, and I'm going to click continue. I'm now going to go. So this is like the student view, right? This is what you got. And you put the code, and I'm going to go back to my teacher view and notice how I have people joining my session in here. And there is AS, right? Anakin Skywalker. So if you want to keep a track of like your student, you could ask them to like put their initial, So, and what I want you to do right now is you can move this to the right. I want you to make your own, I want you to make your own 3D shape. Make your own 3D shape. You can like scroll to the right, scroll to the left. So like maybe you could do it right. Oh, I see somebody, number 4, is already doing this. Very nice. Let us know if you have any questions on the chat. Ryan, thank you so much. You can return to the main page by clicking on the Brainingcamp logo. Very nice. So now that you're here, we're going to give you a little time. Play with this. Let's see if you can make another shape that is 3 dimensions. Very nice. I see some triangles going on. Notice how, as I scroll down, I'm seeing very nice, like different colors. People trying different things. Oh, very nice. Look at this. So where to go? Oh, so we have noticed we have a lot of people. Nice. All right. So I want to show you a couple of things that we can do in here. Actually, I want to give you a little more time to play with this, to explore. If you have any questions, let us know. What is the code? So the code, we copied it before. So the code is on the upper left. I'm going to copy it again. So here is the code. So if you see it right next to the Brainingcamp logo, that is your code, and that is the code that you will share with the students. So you copy that code. Let me throw it in the chat again. And then if you go back in here, right, this is where you will enter the code, and then it's going to ask you to join the lesson. How do I drag the color bands? All right, so let's go back. So there's 2 things that you could do, Kevin. Either you click on it or you could like physically drag them and then place them. And if you just click on it, then it's just gonna put it anywhere on the screen, and then you can play with it. All right. Let me see some of the things that we're doing in here. Very nice. Oh, look at this. Nice. Spaces. Let me see. Oh, Rohini, I don't know why it wouldn't work on the iPad. Oh, there you go. It was just frozen. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. All right. Oh, very nice. Nice. I'm going to give some feedback to 43. All right. So if you see something that you like, that your students are doing, you can give them some feedback. Oh, nice. Recognize. All right. So at this point, I know you're exploring, I know you're playing, but you got the code. Don't worry. Like after the webinar, you're gonna go back and continue to play. Let's say that you want to bring your attention to like get your class back. We can log all workspaces, and notice how now everyone's logged. You won't be able to play with it because now I need your attention, because I'm going to give you some directions. I'm going to bring something. I'm going to say, oh, you could move this however you want, or I'm going to be reaching out to like someone to explain something or like show what they're doing with their workspace. All right, so I'm going to unlock it so you can go back to it. Let me see. Rohini, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. So if you're running to that problem where like it's not working, just refresh and it worked. I've used it with my daughter's iPad, and it's pretty easy to use. Very nice. All right. So this is just one. We're just exploring like of the many one of the many resources that we have available. So I'm gonna go back in here. So just to bring it to your attention, we have a lot in here. And like once you click on it, I mean, it's not going to be the exact same thing, but they're similar in nature. You're going to have a workspace. You're going to have, I think, things on top, the objects, shapes, and tools is pretty consistent for all of them. And then once you hit live on the upper right, you could turn it into a mini lesson for your students, and you're able to like keep track of their work life, which is very cool. All right. At this point, I know you want to keep playing with it, but I got more to show you. So at this point, actually, let me see. Let me go back to my presentation. Where is my presentation? Here we go. All right. Oh, so at this point, look at this. My wife always tells me, like, anytime you're talking about math play or like you're talking about like math in general, you get so excited. Like, we can hear you all the way in the third floor. So at this point, what questions do you have? All right. So at this point, what questions do you have? Notice we didn't say any questions. Teachers, it makes a difference if you say what questions do you have, because if we say like any questions, you're thinking, oh my God, am I supposed to have questions? Should I have any questions? If we say what questions you have, we're normalizing. You have questions, we know you do. What are they? So at this point, hit us with questions. What questions do you have? I drink, yes. It makes such a difference. I've seen it with my daughters. I've seen it with my students at the college level, right? When you ask what questions do you have versus any questions, it's far more inviting. Absolutely. Right, so what questions do you have? Maybe you're just having a lot of fun with the resource. A lot of times, Ryan, it depends. I feel that if there is a play, the play could be the connection. I absolutely use the play first. But I've also done units first, and then once they have the content knowledge, then we use the content knowledge to play. Does Brainingcamp work on the phone as well? I believe it does. Yes. Will the students? How did you log the screen? Oh, let me show you that. That I can show you. So, Jennifer, let me go back to the code. All right, so Jennifer, this is our live lesson. So you could see that on top it says I got send a message to all, and then here log all workspaces. So once I click in there, you can see that everyone's screen is now logged. In case you need everyone's attention or something like that. So it is an option built on the top. Pretty user friendly. It's gonna be hard to miss it. And now I'm going to unlock it. All right, let me go back. That was Jennifer. I hope that answers your question. Math tags are found in the resources. Very nice. Where do we find the tags? Oh, Simi, that's coming. That's coming. You got to be patient, Simi. Students' accounts are generic with no student data. Very nice. Kevin, yes, I can send a message individual. Let me show you how to do that. So if I can send a message to all participants. I can say great job. So I'm gonna send that to everyone, and then I'm gonna send something to Kevin. I don't know what number you are, but let's pretend you were 40. So I'm gonna click on 40, and I'm gonna send Kevin, is this you? It's probably not. What if it is? All right, so that's how you do it, Kevin. I hope that answered your question. I'm LS. All right, Kevin, that's hard. Like Kevin C, and then your thing is LS. All right, you may not making it easy. Star or a heart. I don't know if I can send a star or a heart. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. You said Anakin. I said, look, nice, Kevin. See, this is how we connect. We make connections beyond the content that we teach. Kevin is not 40. I'm so sorry. But listen, we got to see, like, we got it to work. We're a team here. All right, so I'm going to go back. If you have any more questions, feel free to throw them on the chat. We have the expertise of both Mark and Ryan, so you're in good hands. But I want to show you more, because Simi was, like, pressing me, like, come on, let's show me the next thing. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go back to my presentation here. It took time to put this presentation together. So the next thing that we're going to do or that we're going to explore are the ready to use resources. So these are tasks that are ready to go. So I think I just want to show you. I'm going to show you, but I want to bring to your attention that anytime we click on a task, like this is kind of what you're going to get. There's going to be an objective. There's going to be a code. There's going to be a lot of information. So let me just show you because that's how we learn. So I'm going to go back to Brainingcamp. Let me move this. I got too many things open in here. So I'm going to go back. All right. And I'm going to click. So this is the main page. As Ryan told you, if you click on the Brainingcamp logo, I believe it's going to bring you back in here. And then I want you to click on resources. So we're going to click on resources. And then in here, you have some very user-friendly tutorials. You have the tasks that we're going to be exploring, some ideas, webinars. I believe this webinar is going to be there shortly, and then a blog. So I'm going to go and click on the tasks. So I'm going to click on the task. And there you go. It's going to bring me now to this menu. So in here, there is so much. There is so much. So what I recommend, because you're going to get excited, you're going to feel like a kid in a candy store. There's so much in here. I recommend like browsing by grade level. Okay, so browse it by grade level. If you teach like second grade, then you can go there. Maybe go to first grade, see what's in there for you. Go to third grade, see what's in there for you. So there's a lot in here that we can use. Let's just click on one of them just to show you. Once you click on it, it shows you kind of like a PDF with a description, objective, a share code. We're going to be using this. And it kind of gives you some information, some general information. I believe you can access this information with even if you don't have an account. So even if you don't have an account, you can see what's in there because you want to like convince your principal, like, look, check this out, we're missing out. Everything is there, so you could browse it by grade level, also domain, and there's also a search feature. I recommend do it by grade level. So, because of the nature of this webinar, we thought about like two things. So I want to click on second grade, and then you see there's like a wealth of resources in here, very user-friendly, very clean, very nice. I want us to check one in particular. So I'm going to go to the second page. And I want us to explore Pascal's triangle. Before I click there, I want to see if, all right, Brian, thank you. So Brian is taking care of the, you guys make it so easy. Let me go back. So I'm going to click on Pascal's triangles. Here's Pascal's triangle. So like I said, you get an objective, practice, description of the resource, and then you get a share code. So I'm going to get this share code and I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go back to the activity that we had. Where is it? Here we go. So I know that everyone, like my class is already here. So I'm going to open this. I'm going to enter the code in here. And I believe what that's going to do is it's going to send everyone to my resource. And I'm going to replace it for all. So I'm sorry if you were still playing with the 3D shape. You can go back to it right after we finish. But now I'm going to replace it for all. So now everyone should be looking at this resource. Let me see. I see now is getting replaced for everyone. All right. So how do we get there? So I'm going to show you one more time. Because if you're like me, like you need to see this a couple of times. So you click on the resources on the main page. And then it's going to bring you to like all the resources. Then I click on like the task. Going to bring me to the task. Best thing to do in here is explore by grade level. The one that we're exploring right now is second grade. I remember going into the second page, and then I found Pascal's triangle in there. So once you click on it, it's going to open a nice PDF, and then you have the share code. So this is the share code that you will go back and enter on the main page on the right side. But because I already had everyone on my task, now everyone is here. I'm going to close some of this because otherwise I'm going to go crazy looking for the one that I'm using. All right. So here we go. So let's start exploring. Oh, we got a lot of questions. Hope that Ryan and Mark are taking care of you. There you go. Oh, so Mark sharing the code. Very nice. Awesome. All right. So let's explore. So this is a resource that is already made. It's already there. So I want you to think about, like, let's explore. Let's play. Let's see what's happening here. So what patterns do you see? And let's see if you could find out the missing numbers. And no, don't you love that it's like built with hexagons? Who doesn't like hexagons? If you're a math teacher and you don't like hexagons, I don't know what to tell you. So let's see. Oh, I see some people already filling this out. So what do we, oh, so how do you fill it out? So you have different options, right? We show you earlier there's a text feature, but there's also a pencil, right? A lot of students at the elementary level, they have devices where they can like just drag things and write. So I'm noticing Pascal's triangle, like this two, right? If I do 1 plus 1, that gives me 2. And then if I do 2 plus 1, that gives me 3. So notice how like this number is the immediate sum of the two numbers right above. So with that in mind, what's this number? What's this number right here? What do we think is that number? You can put it in the chat. You can put it on your own screen. I see some people. Start playing with this. You're not going to break it. Don't worry. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. All right, so 1 plus 2, I'm going to say this is going to be 3, right? And if you notice, the outside of my pyramid, the outside of my triangle is just a bunch of ones, right? So I'm going to do a ones in here, and then I'm going to add this 3 plus 3. Oh, well, this must be 6, right? And that makes sense because 1 plus 4 is 5. Then 4 plus 6 is going to be 10. And then you can continue to play with this. What's happening here? 4 plus 1. Anything else that you notice? As you start getting more numbers, is there anything that you notice? All right, let's see what people are doing. Please fill in those numbers. So you could do it with the text feature, or you could just do it with the pencil. You could click on the pencil and then you could drag it. People that are working on iPad now, this is your time to shine because this is gonna be easy for you. Oh, I want to bring to your attention that as I scroll down, notice how, for example, 42. So, like, if you see this, it's possible that that student closed the tab or like opened something else, and now that's why it looks like that. Like, it's not, they're no longer connected, and that's why their screen didn't update. Um, Andrea, Judy, thank you. Vanessa, you were telling me that the sum was 3. Very nice. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so glad that Ryan and Mark are here. I wouldn't be able to like present and answer the chat. This is too much. 3-man operation right here. All right, nice. All right. So nice, beautiful, very nice. Notice how, so what's happening? Let me here. All right, so let's continue getting those numbers. So this should be 6. This should be 10 plus 10 is 20. I should have 15 in here. And now we have completed our, and then you can keep going, right? And ask students like, what patterns do you see? Find the missing numbers, what is happening. So this is something that, and notice, this was something that is already made. It's ready for us. And then you could browse it by grade level or domain. All right, see, we got some other questions in here. The text feature. Oh, let me show the text feature. So let's say, so within on the upper left, you got objects, shapes, and tools. So you click on shapes, and then you do text. Then you could also like type the number there, and then you could potentially drag it to whatever you want to drag it. Right? You could put it here. I already have a 10 in there, but you could then type it and then drag it to whatever you want it to be. All right, let me see if we have anything else. How do I join? Oh, we're about to give you the code. All right, very nice. So you can continue to play. And once the students are playing, you have some of the same options. We can lock the screen. If you want to get people's attention, give them some directions, or maybe pause the class, make sure that everyone is on the same page. Or in case like somebody needs a redirection, you could do that. You can send a message to all. Right, great job. Get ready for what's coming. I don't know what you want to tell them. And then you could send that to everybody. You could also go on somebody's like screen and tell them. All right, so I see like 64 in here. I'm gonna recognize I could do this. All right, I'm gonna open 64. Check this out. Very nice. So you could go and see what your students are doing. All right, what other questions do we have? Start trying instead of typing. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for letting us know. We'll take care of that. All this feedback is powerful. All right. In the interest of time, I know you want to keep playing. Yes, Jennifer, there is so much in there. There is so much in there for you, like ready to go. Thank you, Kevin. Good looking out. All right, let's go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Because now I know, like, we got some people from the elementary level and some people maybe sixth grade, seventh grade. So I want to show you another resource. And how we doing on time? We got time. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to go back right now. I'm going to click on, so I'm going to show you this one more time. So how do we get there? We're going to click on resources. It's going to bring you to a wealth of resources that we have. You're going to click on tasks. And then once you're here, I'm going to select one at the A grade level. If you don't teach A grade, don't worry. And notice, like, some of these are, we're going to test one of the brand new ones. So Kevin, be on the lookout. Let us know if you find something. So I want us to use the pedestal. Like this one is really cool. Talk about like different, like multiple entry points. So you're going to click on it. Now, whether it's like second grade, kindergarten, or A grade, the structure is the same, right? We have an objective, we have a description, we have a code, and then we have some information that you can use. So this is for you. It's ready to go. You have some teacher notes, some like resources to get you going. So for our purposes, I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to copy this code. Now, I could just go back to like the main Brainingcamp site, put it on the right side, but because I know like my class is here already, I'm just going to open it here. So I'm going to enter the code that I copy, and then I'm going to click on go. And I'm going to, I'm so sorry, I'm about to replace it for everyone. So I'm going to replace for all. All right. So now, oh, I'm looking at 64 screen. So I'm going to close this screen, go back in here so I can see everyone's. All right, check this out. All right, so give it a little time. It should be, try to make sure that I'm doing it right. So I'm going to replace for everybody. Get a sip of water. All right. Let me know if you're seeing the new resource. Oh, Chelsea, thank you. I don't know if mine is taking a little longer. Mine updated. Perfect. Got it. Awesome. Awesome. 64 screens take time. Yes, I know, Ryan. Here, impatient Mr. Valencia. All right, just be patient with me. All right, so now that you have this, let's start exploring. Oh, there you go. There you go. Now we got them. All right, it only took like 4 seconds. I'm so sorry I was rushing. All right, we got them. All right, so at this point, let's start playing because you're going to love this one because this one is so user-friendly. I got a lot going on in here. So notice what is happening here. So I got first step, 1 block. Second step, I got 3 blocks. Third step, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, remember what I mentioned before? That you get this like grid lines? We can turn them on. We can turn them on and see how we can utilize them. All right, so let's see. Let's try to like come up with step 4. So let's try to come up with step 4. All right, so I'm gonna start. And Kevin, I'm gonna drag this and then place it whatever you want, right? I'm gonna, let's say, is it good if I put it here? Then I'm gonna take another one, maybe put it here, maybe another one, put it there. And now I know step 4 is gonna be a little higher. Then I'm gonna go in here. Then I'm gonna go in here. And then I'm gonna go in here. So do me a favor right now, start creating step 4. Start creating step 4. You can, I would recommend turn on the grid lines. It makes it like very, very visual, very pretty. And then you could just drag them. Now, if you click on it, then it just like puts it like whatever it wants. I like to drag them and then place them where they belong. Don't forget, like turn on the grid lines. That will make your life easier. Let's see if we can get, oh, we have 9 minutes. We got this. We got this. Let me do the next step. and then put them here. Notice this is like ready to go. So talk about like multiple entry points, right? We're playing with this resource. Oh, and of course you can like go right, move left, and then you have them. And then ask your students to fill in this table, right? So I'm gonna say, okay, so I got 5 steps going on. And let's count how many blocks in total. So step 1 had 1, step 2 had 3, step 4 had 5. So I'm going to say 5 in here. And then step 4, how many did it have? So 3, 6, and 7. All right. And then step 5 is going to have 9. All right. So maybe now we're seeing a pattern. Now, we're not going to draw the next one, right? We're not going to draw the next one. But let me do it in a different color. So now, what is our prediction for step 6? If we were to draw step 6, how many little squares, how many pieces are we going to have? Oh, Chelsea, yes, 11 right away. 4 and 5. Nice. And notice that's cool. Isn't that cool? Like we all got 11 right away. So we got the visual, like the visual pattern in front of us. Connect. Oh, Jenna, very nice. We got the table. Nice. We got the table in here. So I'm gonna say 11. Now I'm gonna push your thinking a little more. Can we come up with maybe an equation? Can we come up with an equation or something to like make this prediction? So let's start with y equals. So let's say that x is the step that we're on, right? Let's say that x is the step. How do we get an equation here? What can we do? What are we thinking about? So we went 1, we went step 1 was 1, step 2 was 3, step 3 was 5. Can we come up with an equation in here? 2x minus 1, Jennifer. X plus 2. Will x plus 2 work? If I start with step 1, will that work? 2x minus 1. I'm seeing 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1. Let's test it out. All right, so 2x minus 1. Will that work? All right, so notice we got a visual pattern, we got table representation, and now we can summarize it with an equation. And then there's like a follow-up in here, right? Like which one is going to have 81 blocks. So now that we have an equation, if I know that I'm going to need 81 blocks, I have my y value, and now I need to find my x value. So very, very visual, very pretty, very like user-friendly. Again, you have these options in here. I'm definitely not gonna lock it because I don't want you to get mad at me towards the end. Adrian, very nice. Oh, I see people like having fun with the equation. I'm not gonna lock it. Don't worry. I want you to keep playing with this. This is so much fun. So notice like this resource is there. It's ready to go. So I'm gonna go back to, I know you're still playing. But once you go in there, if we go to tasks, like there is a wealth of resources. Whatever grade level you're teaching, just click on it. And chances are you're going to find something in here that you could use with your students. And it's ready. It's pretty. It's good. It's ready to go. And then you could use it. All right. In the interest of time, I'm going to go back to my presentation. Go back to my presentation in here because there's a couple of things. All right. So at this point, once again, oh, Mark, that's right. It was over 300. So at this point, let's pause. And once again, what questions do you have? Hit us with questions. We got 4 minutes. That's more than enough time. Put Mark and Ryan to work. Ask them questions.